There's a lot that I'm looking forward to talking about with Aspen today. I set myself up in the library and take care of my chores like usual, but it's hard to think about anything else. Afternoon sunshine draws us to the park. Once Aspen gets off work, instead of staying indoors at her apartment or the library, she tells me all about her day at work, and in exchange, I tell her about my upcoming call.
Wow! Juliet's incredible, isn't she? I had no idea she was setting that up.
Me either. It was a total surprise. She said she sent the message a long time ago, though, and it took months before she got a response.
Well, I can certainly empathize with that. At least in this case, the response turned out to be a good one.
Hopefully. I'm a little bit nervous, though.
About what?
Just about what they might say. What if it turns out Jongin is totally different from what I thought? What if they were actually a terrible person?
They are a murderer!
And that would be true whether you knew it or not. They do say ignorance is bliss for a reason. If I were you, though, I would want to know the truth no matter what.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe someday I'll be able to do something without worrying about it the whole time.
If you figure out the secret, let me know. Lena sure isn't sharing it. I think she's somewhere around here too. At least she mentioned that before she clocked out.
Is that why we're here?
Not at all. I adore Lena, but I'll be spending more time with her than without her for the next month. I just wanted to appreciate the fresh air before I forget what it's like.
Put a ton of plants in your bell house too! Did you know that plants help us breathe? I just learned that on TV!
Thank you, Miho.
I was aware, but I'm glad for you. Plants are on the list though. I also want to put in a reading corner with a small library for people to browse while they visit.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Regina's allowing me to set it up and decorate how I see fit, so I'm being as self-indulgent as I can.
A cafe with a library in it? That sounds perfect for you. Where would you get the books from? Juliet?
I was planning to ask her for some, yes, as well as a few from my own collection, and Lena's, and anyone else who'd like to donate. Maybe Juliet would even let us share books, so you can return them at either place.
That's a pretty good idea.
How would you keep track of it? Would you hire someone to do it?
Hire Miho. Abuse your power.
Well, I happen to know a certain someone who's very experienced in that position.
Yes, power abuse. Go.
But no, we would simply have to use the honor system, like Juliet used to.
I still don't get how she doesn't worry about people stealing them. I mean, I do, but I don't.
I think the worst thing that people will do is forget that they have the books rather than actually want to steal them. And I'm speaking from experience.
I think it makes sense. Maybe it's even impossible to steal from a library. After all, they're meant for sharing books. If you take one home and give it to a friend instead of returning it, it still served its purpose. Or if you hold on to it for years and then only return it much later, you still returned it. That's the beauty of books. They can always wait. My New Year's resolution is to get through at least half of my backlog, personally.
That's crazy.
Your New Year what?
Resolution. It's like a goal that you set for yourself for the year. And then usually give up on by February, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
That sounds neat. Did you have one this year?
I did. It was to finish and hopefully release a book. It may not have come true, but I'm happy with the outcome, all the same.
I should try to think of one for next year myself. Maybe I'll try to get through half my reading backlog too.
Do you have one of those?
Nope. So I'm doing good already.
Oh my god, Miho.
Maybe it'll be to read
Piece of
10 books. Or 100 books. I don't know what a good number to try is.
Well, it depends on the book, right? If we're talking about like kids' books, I don't know what your reading level is.
Probably somewhere in between. You don't have to make it about reading, though. You don't have to make one at all if you don't want to. Only if it helps motivate you.
I'll think about it. I've been thinking that I need something else to do with my life as it is.
Something else?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, the library's fine and all. But I'm not really excited about it the same way you are about the Bell House. Yesterday, I was thinking about how Juliet doesn't need me to help her. She just gave me the job as a favor, even if she said otherwise. I don't really need that favor anymore, though.
You've outgrown it.
Yeah. I have other things I can rely on.
Oh, one of them links arms with me.
Always.
Not far away, there's an empty bench alongside the path, and Aspen leads us to it so we can sit down. We've been walking for almost an hour now, so our break is nice. Aspen takes off her hat and sets her purse on the ground between us while I stretch out my legs. We're not the only ones out here and enjoying the afternoon. The park's alive and bustling. Bikers, joggers, dog walkers, skaters all dodge around each other, plus the regular pedestrians like Aspen and me. Some of the dogs even run around off their leashes, ditching the road entirely. People are playing all kinds of sports too, and I can even tell the difference between some of them by now. I'm still a bit confused on what football is though. I even spot Lena, though she doesn't see us. Aspen pokes me on the side.
Oh, look over there. Think he's lost?
Across from us, a dog is sniffling around. There's a break in the foot traffic around us for now, so I don't see anyone watching him.
His owner's probably around here somewhere. Maybe he ran ahead of them.
The dog looks over at us like he knows we're talking about him. He takes a couple steps towards us, sniffing the air with his tail wagging just a bit.
Oh, come here. Here, puppy.
The puppy, Aspen's right about that, slowly creeps closer towards Aspen's outstretched hand. I sit still, not wanting to spook him. He seems friendly but cautious. One step, two step, he never stops sniffing. Then he runs forward, bites the handle of Aspen's purse, and takes off with it. Aspen jumps to her feet.
Hey, stop. Come here.
What the fuck? The dog doesn't even look back as it runs away, dragging Aspen's purse with it, the contents starting to spill out as they go. I run after the puppy who's going further into the park, not wasting my breath shouting. I've been running way too much these past couple of months. I could transform, but I think that would probably scare him even more. I know better than to chase a dog, but I don't have much other choice. I hope I can just wear him out and then catch him. Glancing back, I see Aspen following behind me, gathering up everything that she can. The puppy also looks back at me every now and then, changing directions at random. Some of the other people who see us lunge for the dog or try to block him, but he dodges all of them and keeps running. I'm a little impressed. He zigzags again, but this time it's lucky for me. He's heading straight towards Lena.
Hey, Lena!
She spins around to see me, and I can tell she's trying to process what's happening. The dog is closer to her than he is to me.
Catch him!
Luckily, my words get through. Lena crouches, already warmed up. The puppy sees her and starts to go in a different direction, away from both of us.
Not so fast!
Oh god. Lena jumps for him and flaps her wings to carry herself even further. She crashes to the ground just in front of the dog, who scrambles over himself to try to stop and turn again.
Gotcha!
I reach them just in time to grab him by the scruff of his neck. He immediately drops Aspen's purse like a thief who's been caught. Not that I know, I wouldn't know. Aspen herself is slowly approaching, her arms full as she tries not to drop anything.
Not quite how I expected to end my workout today.
Thank you, Lena. You're literally a lifesaver.
Uh-oh.
Whoa! Aspen said literally! That means it's serious.
Ah! I make sure Aspen's purse is safe before I let go of the puppy, who's been tossing and turning my arms. Aspen walks up and wags a finger at
And
him.
as for you, hasn't anyone taught you any manners?
The dog walks away from us, but not very far, so he can watch instead. He reminds me of a little bit of Silver. I hope he doesn't turn into a person.
I've seen that dog around before. Pretty sure he's a stray. I haven't heard of him taking anyone's stuff like that, though.
Got anything good in your purse?
Not if you're a dog. There's just...
While digging around in her now refilled purse, Aspen stops and then pulls out a smushed plastic wrapper.
I guess there's the other half of my lunch that I forgot about.
The dog wags his tail and barks in Aspen's direction, and she frowns.
This is what you were after, wasn't it? It really wasn't that good, I promise.
She unwraps the remnants of a sandwich and tosses it to the dog, who gobbles it down in just a couple bites before looking at us for more. If he's a stray, like Lena said, that could be the best meal he's had in days.
That's all I have.
Lena and I are both empty-handed.
What should we do with him? What if he's not a stray and someone's looking for him?
They must not be looking very hard. I've seen him a couple days in a row now.
Poor thing. He seems so friendly when he isn't running off with my things.
I stoop down to try to pet him and he lets me. He even licks my hand a couple times.
Maybe we can take him back to the library with us. Juliet might know what to do.
Oh boy.
Well, she is known for helping strays. I'm not sure how we'd get him back there, though.
Is that like a little nudge at Miho?
I can carry him. He doesn't look too heavy.
Carry him?
Yeah, why not? If he'll let me pick him up, at least.
Just... please be careful.
I will.
I crouch down and approach him slowly, keeping my hands out for him to sniff. I also try to wag my own tail to help reassure him. Instead of running away, he just flops onto his back and asks, asking for a belly rub. I do that with one hand while I slide the other beneath him. He's so lean that I can see his ribs, then I scoop him up. He whips in surprise, but doesn't try to escape. Once I get him situated, he's pretty calm.
That wasn't so bad.
Both Aspen and Lena crowd in to pet him now that he can't get away. He sits there and takes it all in stride.
Okay, he's not that heavy, but let's get going anyway.
Yeah.
All right. I'll text Juliet so that she isn't totally blindsided when we get there. See you tomorrow, Lena.
Later, boss! Later, Miho! Oh, later, puppy!
Still leaning against my shoulder, the dog doesn't mind when Aspen moves his paw to wave goodbye to Lena. Oh. Although the dog starts to squirm at some point, I manage to carry him all the way home. He sheds and definitely smells like a stray dog. But I don't mind it too much. He can't help it after all. Aspen also holds him a couple times. For some reason, he's more antsy with her than with me, so her turns don't last as long. When we arrive at the library, Juliet's waiting just inside. I love this white rectangle.
Oh my, isn't he precious?
The puppy thumps his tail against my chest as Juliet comes over to pet him. People just can't stop themselves from doing that, I guess.
Let's take him upstairs.
I don't want to set him down here with the last few library patrons and all the books. Other than his initial chase, he's been pretty calm, but that could change once he's recharged. We all go to my room where I finally put the dog on the floor. He starts sniffing around immediately, although there isn't that much to sniff. I watch for any signs of trouble, but he's good.
I like him a lot more when he isn't robbing me.
He just didn't know how to ask politely.
There's a half-full glass of water on my desk, and I sit it down on the ground so the dog can drink some. He slurps up as much as he can, the glass too big for his tongue to reach all of it.
I'll go fetch a bowl of water and see if we have anything that would be safe for him to eat. And then we can talk about what to do with him.
Yeah. Miho taking a bird, taking a water elemental, and now taking a dog. Aspen sits down on my bed, but I sit on the floor, and the dog walks over to sniff me.
Seems he's already taken a liking to you.
His fur is stiff and coarse, and he's bony. He can't be that old, which makes me think he must have spent most of his short life as a stray. Juliet returns soon, setting the water and also a bowl with some banana slices, bread, and a slice of cheese.
It's not the healthiest meal, but it should keep his belly full for a little bit.
The dog digs in, like he didn't just eat half a sandwich earlier. The bowl slides across the floor from the force of his munching, and he smacks his lips while he tries to chew the banana.
Is it okay if he stays here for a while? I'll take care of him.
Mom, other mom, can I please keep my dog, the stray?
Even if it's just until we find his real owner, if he has one. I don't want to just kick him back out.
Oh, heavens! I wouldn't dream of just tossing him back out on the street. But taking care of a pet, even for a couple of days, is a lot of work. Are you sure?
It really is.
I'm sure. Whatever it is, I'll do it.
I've only had this puppy around for a couple hours, but I already know that I don't want anything bad to happen to him. Is that a reference to the Brooklyn 99 meme? Scrounging for food, stealing, not having anywhere to go back to, they're all things I can relate to.
I don't see why not, then. I'll keep an eye out as well for anyone who may be searching for a lost dog like him.
Thanks. I don't think he has any people, though. I think he's all on his own.
You may be right. Still, we should do our best to make sure.
Right. I'll look out for any posters or missing signs.
After he finishes his meal, the dog flops down by me. He stares at me, but doesn't move. Instead of fighting to keep his eyes open, now that he's eaten more, he does seem totally exhausted.
He must be in doggy paradise right now after spending a few days in the park. I know I sure would be.
I look up at Juliet, smiling.
Yeah. I think he'll like staying here.
When I wake up, the dog is already awake and staring at me from the floor, ready to go. The two of us go downstairs and join Juliet for breakfast when she's prepared another bowl of fruit and bread for the dog. He eats it, but even if he's only going to be here for a couple days, he'll need more than people food.
I think I'm gonna go buy some dog food for him. I can get that at most stores, right?
Yes, it shouldn't be difficult to find.
I check my wallet. I have plenty of money since Juliet pays me for my library work, but there's hardly ever anything I need to buy myself. This will be as good a use as any.
Do you mind watching him while I go?
Not at all.
Thanks.
I kneel down and pet the dog's head. I've already learned one of his favorite spots, right at the base of his ear, and give him a good scratch.
Okay, stay here with Juliet, alright?
I really am turning into Aspen with how much I talk to the dog. Although he stays put for a moment, he follows me to the front door. Before I can leave, I gently push him back with my foot.
No, you can't come with me.
The dog paws at my legs, looking at me expectantly. Oh. Once more, I let him outside to relieve himself, but even after he finishes that, he won't go back into the library without me.
You're not gonna take no for an answer, are you?
Sighing, I accept my fate. I let Juliet know about the change of plans, and then the dog and I start walking. It's a white background. He stays near me, sometimes going off the path to sniff something, but he always returns. Each time he starts to walk away, I feel a tinge of worry that he won't come back. But that possibility is just something that I have to accept, even if some details of my past have gotten hazy for me. I can still clearly remember how it feels to need to run and escape. If the dog decides that's what he needs to do, then it's not my place to stop him. Still, I'm relieved every time he stops sniffing and returns to my side. Eventually, we get into town and I find a pet store. There's a sign on the window saying that dogs are allowed inside, which is what I was hoping for. A bell rings when we walk in. Although it doesn't sound as pretty as the one at the Bell House, I wander around until I find the dog food section. There are more choices here than I thought. Big bags, small bags, red bags, blue bags. I'm not sure which one to pick. The dog sniffs each of them in turn. I watch to see if one gets his interest more than the other, but it doesn't seem like he's picky. I try to find which one has the most similar looking dog on the front.
Guess I'll go with this one.
On the way to the front, the dog veers off down another aisle, and I follow behind to see what got his attention. Of course it's the toy aisle. Just like in the food section, there are a dozen on display. He sniffs them all even more furiously than the kibble. There's a small basket of plastic toys on the ground, and he pulls one out with his mouth. It looks like a cartoon squirrel, and its tail squeaks when he bites it. He gives it a good shake, getting a few more squeaks in the process. His tail wags even faster than his head, and he looks up at me eagerly. I reach for the toy, but he hops away and then crouches down, tail still going, daring me to try to take it again. I do, but he instantly jumps out of reach once more, shaking and squeaking the toy again too.
Okay, you can keep it. But come on, I gotta pay.
It's been a long time since I've stolen anything. Now that I can actually pay for things, I can't see myself stealing again. I feel kind of guilty about things I took in the past, but I only ever did what I had to do in order to survive. Once I had support from others in my life and the help I needed to get my feet on the ground, stealing stopped being something I felt like I had to do. At the counter, I used 2 fingers to hold the slobbery toy so the cashier can scan it. Before returning it to the dog, I tuck the bag of food under one arm and then we start walking home. We reach a crosswalk, arriving right as the light changes to send traffic across our path. I come to a halt while I wait, switching which arms I use to carry the bag since it's getting sore. But the dog doesn't stop with me. Instead, he doesn't even look back as he runs out into the road, eager to get back to the library. Oh my god, a car horn blares as it barrels towards us down the road, too close to be able to brake in time. I feel like I'm moving in slow motion as I drop the bag of food and dash out into the road despite knowing how dumb that is. I grab the dog as I sprint by, barely hauling ourselves out of the way of the passing car. The driver understandably gives me a rude gesture as he goes by. The dog, meanwhile, looks at me as if offended by the rough treatment, with my hand still holding him tightly.
You dummy! She could have died right there!
This is why you buy a leash. Like, off-leash dogs give me a lot of anxiety. The squirrel toy in his mouth squeaks as he squirms in my grasp. That was way too close for comfort. If I had been just one step further away, I would have been too late to rescue the dog. I probably would have gotten myself hit for my troubles too. Behind us and across the street, the bag of food lies on the side, some kibble strewn across the ground from a spot where it tore when I dropped it. Whether the dog wants to run away or stay with me is up to him, but I can't just let him get himself hurt or worse. I only have one choice. I hoist the dog up and hold him with one arm, just like the dog food bag that I go back and retrieve before we start walking again. He doesn't squirm as much as he did yesterday, which helps a lot, but still, by the time we make it back into the library, both my arms feel like they're ready to fall off. When I set the dog down, he strolls up to the library door, as if nothing happened, waiting for me to let him in. I guess in his mind, maybe nothing did happen. He got no clue how lucky he was. A long time ago, Juliet said that sometimes your best is all you can do. That goes for puppies too. If I'd been born a city dog instead of a fox, I doubt I'd be much different than either. Still, I have to think it's a miracle that any dog makes it into adulthood, especially strays like him. When it's finally time for my meeting, Juliet helps me get set up on her computer and then lets me take it to my room. I adjust the screen until I can see it properly and then I wait. My nervousness keeps building until I nearly jump when the call finally comes through. As the ringtone plays, I take a deep breath and then hit accept. Oh. The tiny person shape bubble on the notification dissolves, and for a second, there's just a black screen. Then a woman appears. When the image comes into focus, she's squinting at the screen, probably waiting for just like me, but then she smiles and waves as she's able to see me.
Hello!
Hi, I'm Miho. Nice to meet you. Thanks for talking to me.
I'm Minsa. No problem.
This also sounds like the same VA.
Gotta say, I was shocked when I got your friend's email at first. I thought it was gonna turn out to be some kind of scam, and eventually she'd ask for money. I'm still a bit confused, though. So you were friends with my ancestor?
Sort of. I met them when I was really young. I was just a regular fox back then.
Wait. A fox, like with 4 legs and pointy ears?
Yeah. After I met Jong-in, I turned into the person I am today.
Whoa. So that was a long time ago, huh? But you look even younger than me. Oh, that's just not fair.
Trust me, it has its downsides.
Both of us laugh, and I can't help but be relieved that she already feels easy to talk to.
That explains a lot, at least. So, Jong-in. You're the second person to ask me about them this year, you know? That's 2 times more than most years.
Who was the first?
These guys at some archaeological society who are putting on an exhibition. They wanted permission to display some of their old works.
Are you the only family they have?
The only one who can use a computer, at least. The only reason I know any of the history is because I had to. Should I tell you everything I know and then you can ask me any questions? No promises if I'll be able to answer them, though.
Sure, that works for me.
Let's see. Well, I'm not related to them by blood, for one thing. They didn't have any kids of their own. But they got married and they and their wife adopted several children. I'm related to one of those kids. They were part of the Youngbun class, a noble and a scholar. But rather than be stuck at home suffering through court life, they hid their identity and snuck away to travel the world instead.
Minsa speaks with a practiced tone, like she's given the speech a few times. Still, I listen with rapt attention, memorizing every detail.
They spent years on the go, seeing everything they could, before finally coming back home to Korea to settle down and start a family.
I can't help but notice that they use they/them pronouns.
While they were away, they kept a journal and wrote letters back to their beloved. Although calligraphy was something they were taught from a young age, they began practicing as an artist during their travels. Sometimes, the letters they sent would include paintings of the things they'd seen, or they'd include little drawings in their journal. Something else that they started to do was give a note to the people they met on their journey, with a little message of appreciation or wishes. My husband always says they remind him of fortune cookies.
Oh, I actually have one of those scrolls myself.
I brought my scroll down from my room just in case it came up like this. I unfurl it for the first time since Halloween. Please be happy. I turn the scroll around and hold it up to the camera so Mincio can see. She leans in again, looking close.
Yeah, that's definitely theirs, all right. And they gave it to you when you were just a fox?
Yeah. Although, I couldn't read it until a couple months ago.
God, it's so hard to read their handwriting, right? I'm like, if they were born today, they totally would have been a doctor. I have a few of them myself, although they're up in the office. Grandma has like 90. She says she has one for every year she's been alive, and I definitely believe that.
Jeez, that's a lot. How many did they give out altogether?
Who knows? If someone told me it was thousands, I'd believe them. I don't know if they gave one to every person they met, but it must have been close.
Huh. I thought mine must be pretty rare.
It's still special. However many there were, I'm sure most haven't lasted this long. Not everyone got a full scroll either. But no. They're not some priceless artifacts that'll sell for a ton of money or something. Otherwise, I'd be talking to you from a mansion by the beach.
That's fine. I'd never sell mine anyway. It's way too important to me.
Yeah, I figured. I'm sure it wasn't easy to keep it safe and in such good condition.
That's for sure. We've been through a lot together.
That's good. I'm sure that's what they would have wanted.
For a while, Mincio tells me more about Jung-Yin's adventure. Even though it's hard for me to picture some of the people and places involved, I still pay close attention. Then all of a sudden, Mincio's eyes go wide like she'd had some huge revelation.
Oh, I'm an idiot! Hold on, I'll be right back. I have to show you.
She gets up and runs off screen, leaving me with a view of an empty chair and a bookshelf. Instead, I look down at my scroll. Somehow, I'd always assumed it was a one of a kind, or at least something rare and meaningful. But somehow, finding out that that isn't the case doesn't really bother me. Instead, it's nice to think that they met so many people to be grateful to, or who left an impact on them. If there were thousands of scrolls like mine out there, then that's not a bad thing at all. After a few seconds, Mincio returns to the computer and sits down, carrying a scroll herself.
This is one that I had in the office. I can't believe I didn't think about this sooner. Sometimes, they'd include a butterfly in their signature, or hide one in their paintings, because they said they were inspired by butterflies to travel with the wind. But then, at some point, instead of butterflies, they started to include something else instead. Can you see her?
Is it a fox? She holds the scroll up to her camera like I did, focused on one of the bottom corners. There, just below where they sign their name, is a little picture of a fox. Of me?
I should have thought of it when you mentioned foxes earlier. At one point, they started using the alias Horim for their work. I don't know if you speak any Korean, but Horim means fox forest. After they started using that name, foxes would show up in their art for the rest of their life.
The drawing consists of just a few brush strokes that make a head, and ears and face. Still, it feels like seeing a photograph of myself. I can picture them smiling as they drew it, as they thought of me. I'd always wondered if our time together was as important to them as it was to me. Hearing that they chose that name practically confirms it.
Thanks for showing me.
That is quite touching. I can feel the threat of tears, but somehow I managed to keep my composure.
No problem. Grandma's gonna freak out when I tell her I talked to you. I've told you basically all I know, but were there any questions you had?
Yeah, I did have one. I'm a little afraid to know, but...
I take a deep breath. They were human, so my question is only natural, but still. Exhaling, I make myself again.
How'd they die?
Mincio smiles.
Old and peacefully. Their wife outlived them, but not by too long. They had the typical funeral that was expected when they passed away, but then they actually had one final secret request to their family.
Oh?
They wanted to be cremated. Back then, it was basically unheard of, especially for someone of their stature. But they really wanted it to be done so that they could have their ashes scattered. That way, the wind could pick them up, and they could keep traveling forever.
So then... it sounds like they were happy.
Oh yeah. They told their kids that they had no regrets, because they'd live as full and rewarding a life as they could.
I'm afraid that if I try to say too much, I'll start to cry, so I just nod instead while I find my voice.
I'm glad to know that.
Of course, of course. It's only right that you know, considering how many foxes showed up in their work.
I think Mincio can tell that I'm having a tough time holding it together because her voice takes on a more sympathetic tone.
Was there anything else you wanted to know?
I don't think so. You told me everything I wanted to ask.
Aww.
I only found out their name a couple months ago. Until then, I just thought of them as my person in my head. So, really, I've learned a lot more than I could have hoped for.
Aww. Well, I'm happy to help. Your friend has my contact info, so you can message me anytime if you think of anything else. I guess if you think about it, you and I are kind of like family, right?
Oh! I don't know about that one, but sure.
Since it sounds like they raised you just as much as they raised their kids. Like my great, whatever.
Really?
She laughs.
Sure, why not? The more the merrier, right? I think that's how they would have seen it too.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Family? I may have a girlfriend, but family is something new to me. Silver calls us sisters, but just barely. It makes my heart warm.
No problem. I'm sure we'll talk again, so I won't say goodbye. Instead, how about see you later?
I'd like that. Although, there's just one thing.
What's that?
I explain my magic and how everyone forgets me after a day. Nodding sympathetically, Mincio agrees to join my list of people who check in with me every day. What? That's crazy! Sorry. I'm glad she's so understanding, but it's just another reminder that I need to find a better, more permanent solution for people forgetting me. The second our call ends, I let out the sob I was holding back. Oh, I thought I was done crying over Jonghyun, but apparently not. Except this time, it's the good kind of crying. After all my searching, and even after their death, I finally got the answer to the question my heart wanted to know. They cared about me too. I try to imagine what their home must have been like. Their wife and kids, I'm sure they were all smiles. Still, it's difficult for me to imagine how they looked. Wait, okay. They go by they, them. They have a wife. They adopted kids. I think I can put the pieces together. Instead, I can picture them traveling just like when we met, going from place to place freely, wherever the wind took them, just like me, really. Someday, I'd like to return to some of those places that I've been before and see them properly instead of just blindly searching for one person and ignoring everything else. I'd like to visit them with some of the same wonder that Jonghyun felt. More than anything, I wish I could tell them about what I've experienced and learn on this path they sent me down. Even though I can't, there's one thing that I can now say for sure. They would have been proud of me. Oh! A few minutes later, I'm still trying to pull myself together when the dog comes up to me and paws at my leg insistently. I can't help but smile. Oh, whatever I'm going through doesn't matter to him at all. He just wants to eat or go outside, of course. My life and tears don't really make a difference to him one way or another. And really, that helps me, keeps me grounded. I'm glad to have some closure when it comes to Jonghyun and to know that they were just the kind of person I imagined them to be. While their kindness and memory will never stop being special to me, I finally feel like I can say they're in the past. Time passed quicker than I could have ever imagined, but it still passed. It moved on, and now I needed to too. After wiping my eyes and blowing my nose, I stand up and the dog spins in an excited circle as I reach for the door. He runs right for the kitchen, stopping right outside the cabinet where I stored his food. His nose quivers and he huffs like a pig as he waits for me to catch up.
Didn't take you long to get used to this, did it?
He barks at me, just a single short yap, but I can imagine him telling me to hurry up.
Alright. Give me a second.
I grab a clean bowl from the cupboard and scoop him out some dinner. As the kibble clatters into the dish, he excitedly prances about, getting his snout into the bowl before it's even on the floor. His tail wags as he chows down, inhaling half his meal without even chewing. I reach toward him, but he growls at me with a mouthful of dog food.
Chill, I'm not taking it. I'd pour my own bowl if I wanted some. Besides, I don't think I could stand the taste anymore.
Still, I keep my distance just so I don't spook him. Finally, after he's done, he leaves the kitchen and heads right back up towards my room. He's gotten comfortable here much faster than I did. I wonder if it feels like home yet. After taking yesterday off, I sit down at the library desk with the dog for the first time. He does his usual pacing and sniffing since this is the first time he's really explored this area. I keep an eye on him while I start on the day's task, but he just flops on the floor near my feet and dozes. Eventually, the first person who needs help comes to the desk carrying a couple books with them.
Hi there, I'd like to... Oh my god!
The sound of a new voice gets the puppy to stand up, and the lady across from me melts when she sees him.
He's adorable. Can I pet him?
Sure.
It's not really up to me. If he doesn't want to be pet, he'll just walk away. The next person to show up does more or less the same thing, and the person after them too. As the day gets later, the library gets busier. At least half the people who come in ask to pet the dog. I'm pretty sure some of the help requests I get are just excuses to come see him. He handles it all pretty well, though, even leaving my side to go explore and visit with Fox himself. Oh. Silver? A little bit later, after lunchtime, the front door opened slowly. I looked up from the form I'm working on to see one of the last people I expected.
Silver!
Oh yeah, she has the thing. She isn't wearing her mask, so I get a clearer view of her face as she narrows her eyes at the name, but approaches me all the same.
Miho.
Miho. I haven't seen Silver since Halloween, after she gave back my scroll and disappeared into the night. More than once, I've thought about going up to Mount Victoria to look for her, but haven't. It felt like I should give her some space after last time. She stops at the desk, standing across from me. Surrounded by books and other guests, plus being in the broad daylight, she looks a bit out of place. A short bark from next to me startles her, and she blinks in surprise as the dog runs around the desk to stand at her feet and yap at her directly.
A friend of yours?
Something like that. I found him at the park, and I've been taking care of him for a couple days.
He's a dog in the true sense of the word, then.
As far as I know, yeah, you finally got it right.
Her lips curl, but into a smile and not a sneer. Although she doesn't try to pet him, she looks down at the dog with some amusement. He's stopped barking and instead sniffs her furiously, looking between her and me like he's trying to figure something out.
He seems happy.
You can read his aura?
No? I don't need to, though.
No, but I don't need to, though. Deciding she's either boring or not a threat, the dog comes back to my side and lies down again, gnawing quietly on his chew toy. Silver looks back to me, but then her eyes narrow again.
Your bead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I take off my necklace and hold it so she can see the cracks starting to appear.
It started doing this a couple days ago.
Keeping her distance, she inspects it warily. In the palm of my hand where the bead itself sits, I can feel a faint pulse like a heartbeat, although it doesn't sync up with my own.
So not much longer, then.
Right.
It feels a little awkward to acknowledge, like I'm beating her in a race I didn't mean to participate in, but there's not any point in denying it either.
I'm kinda scared of what's gonna happen next, to tell you the truth.
Scared? Why?
Change, I guess.
Sky Fox. Chionho, Sky Fox. Just thinking the word summons visions of blue skies and rolling forests in my mind. The pulse in my palms quickens.
Hey, I have a question. What do you think would happen if I broke it?
Broke what?
This.
I hold my bead up closer and she takes an instinctive half step backwards.
If I just crushed it or got rid of it instead of swallowing it. If that's even possible.
Oh, that's gonna be a big decision. This spinally spindly breaks that cover the bead makes it look like it could fall apart at any second, like even if a light wind could shatter it. I can only imagine what Silver must be thinking. She's probably shocked that I'm even asking, but she keeps any scorn she's feeling off her face, and finally she shrugs.
I know not, nor why you would even consider such a thing. Though I have a guess. The magic within our fox bean is as much a part of us as our breath and blood. Perhaps there is no life without it. Or perhaps we'd be no different than beasts.
You mean you think I turned back into a fox?
Maybe. Maybe not. I couldn't say. I've never heard of any of her sisters ever trying.
A lump forms in my throat that I force back down.
I never thought of that. It makes sense though, huh? Since it was the bean that made me what I am.
She jabs a finger at my face, and hovering over my necklace.
Shut up.
Oh, hello?
Huh?
I only said it was possible. I doubt it would happen. Either way, how dare you? Your bean is but a means to an end. It may have given you a chance, but it was you who took it.
Oh?
Every step you've taken has been your own. It made you nothing but capable.
Wow, who knew Silver was such a motivational speaker? Silver holds her arms out, putting her shining bracelet into clear view.
Whoever or whatever you are now, you can never be a normal fox again, even were you to take the form of one. Still, what power your being does offer has been ever in your service. Should you choose to discard it, I fail to see why it wouldn't respect your final wish.
Up close like this, I'm able to see Silver's bracelet clearly for the first time. The light makes it difficult, but not impossible. Although my bead is plain and round, nearly identical to the non-magical ones on my necklace, her narrows at the middle and then widens again like an hourglass. The few colorful bands run across it, almost too narrow to see. There's a red one, a blue one, and even a silver one. When I squint, I can even see a faint spring green one as well. There are others, but I can't see what they are before Silver shoves her hand into her pockets, burying the light. I put my necklace back on.
Thanks. I feel a lot better hearing you say that.
I told you so. To think otherwise would be insulting.
In Silver's language, that's just how you say you're welcome.
Anyway, none of that is the reason I came here. I've come to keep my end of a promise. I'm leaving tomorrow.
What? So soon?
The news hit me like a punch in the gut, even though she told me she was planning this a long time ago.
Soon? I've already stayed longer than I intended. There's nothing more for me to be had here.
That's not true. There's...
Nothing more to be found, I should say.
Abruptly, her voice softens. For maybe the first time ever, Silver's tone is gentle.
Your path may end here for now, but mine goes ever on.
Yeah.
Perhaps someday it will come to a similar end, but not today, nor tomorrow. Surely you understand.
For as long as I'd known her, I've hoped I could get through to Silver somehow, help her since some of the things I was blind to myself. Especially now, as we're just starting to become friends, or maybe now that we've been friends for a while. Either way, I wish she would stay. Exchange numbers, or, I mean, I don't think she has a phone, but like, you can still give her your info. But also, just like how I've already vowed to let the dog go if he wants to leave, I know I can't keep her here. That's very true. And just like with Aspen, as much as I might want to do more, all I can do is try to support her. The rest is up to Silver.
Yeah. I understand. I'm coming to see you off, though.
Silver considers for a second.
Fine. I'll come to you here in the morning. Early. Be ready.
Do you have a passport?
I will.
Good. I've said all I came to say then. Until tomorrow.
Without another word, she turns and heads for the door, disappearing through it just like she disappears into the trees.